I've been saying this shit since August. I'm a whole fucking relationship coach. Why do you think I'm not in a relationship? The more attractive she is right now, the more stimulated she is. Look at Kim Kardashian, bro. She was with Kanye for what, like 8 years? Out of nowhere, boom, divorced like that. She's with another guy the next week. Just think about that story, bro. For 8 years, 3 or more kids with him. And within a week after divorcing him, she's with another guy. Not in a relationship with another guy, not married to another guy. She's getting her back blown out by another guy. And you know what I'm saying? Like, women are literally looking up to that and thinking like, oh shit, if Kanye can get finessed, you can too.
The 80-20 rule is something that plenty of people have heard of. As previously said, 80% of women find only 20% of men to be attractive. If you strive for the top 20%, women will chase after you. When I was in my early 20s, I had to deal with women who would stand up for me in the office or sit next to me in class. It was simple back then to rank in the top 20% of most attractive males. The only restrictions were that you dress cutely and don't look like a fool. Even if you bought your car from your father, you were pretty well set if you had one. As I started my most recent committed relationship, things drastically changed. I had stopped working out for 10 years, and I was no longer as stylish or appealing as I once had been. Women were also drawn to successful and stable men. At age 20, it was clear that I had lost appeal and had no hope of securing a long-term commitment. I had to think of another form of entertainment. Male sexual rivalry is the driving force behind the 80-20 rule, which is why it exists. Women frequently use condoms and birth control medications. If so, then all of your efforts to have children will be in vain. Many sexual interactions are feasible, but they come with their own set of risks, such as the potential of being falsely accused of abuse, getting an STI, or going through emotional turmoil. It's not worth taking that chance. When you realize this, you can stop worrying about the temptation that today's women pose and instead focus on living your own life to the fullest. The majority of people have never been regarded as eligible bachelors. Nonetheless, you assume that this is a good development. You don't comprehend that just because women think you are attractive does not mean that they are actively looking to be with you. The most attractive women gravitate toward the most attractive guys, probably because they have nothing to lose, so they choose to take action. Moreover, the top 1% of men frequently face rejection from snobby women. They may be obese, or have a face that only a mother could adore after throwing her as an infant down the stairs. And just when you think you've gotten rid of them all, 3 or 4 more manage to sneak in. Even the women you prefer not to date will make an effort to talk to you at work. No matter a man's socioeconomic standing, women still look forward to his pampering and entertainment. The 80-20 rule is a tried and true rule of thumb when it comes to dating and relationships. According to experts, you only need to find 80% of what you desire in a partner. In a typical high school or university, over 80% of the female students are having sexual encounters with 20% of the male students. This pattern is explained by the Pareto principle, which states that 80% of causes result in 20% of consequences. In other words, for society to last in the long run, the majority of males must continuously succeed in the sex sphere. Sexual communism is a state that develops when men are no longer competing with one another for the attention of women. That is to say, a man is assured the right to have children once he marries. Before civilization, a small group of men unfairly dominated the mating ritual. If we do away with the marriage contract and other social practices that prevent people from being treated properly, we can move closer to an egalitarian society. The majority of sexual interactions between alpha males and women who are able to have children are fun and safe for both parties. However, as women become older, they frequently become anxious and settle for one of the other 80% of males. These guys might never get another opportunity to sleep in a bed. This one. The 80-20 rule, which asserts that women are attracted to men in quantities ranging from around 20% to 80%, was explored by Susan Walsh on Reddit. On the changing sexual milieu on university campuses, she said some wise things. She asserts that dating customs in the past were more gender neutral. Any woman with a popularity rating of 6 or higher can now basically have the hottest guy on campus for one night only. If you aren't in the top 20%, you might as well give up. After graduating from college, a lot of young women still desire strong guys as they approach their 30s. This is concerning because it could result in more males in our society who are resentful and angry. The majority of these men will eventually discover how to cope with their alone and continue living their lives. But that will eventually result in even lower birth rates and the dissolution of society. Unless we provide inventive technological alternatives, most women will never knowingly choose to marry a man who isn't their intellectual or financial equal. Pre-industrial and pre-agricultural environments, the vast majority of females married solely the best males, which was essential to the survival of our species. Yet, in a service economy, its importance diminishes. In the predominantly service-based economy, modern women can let loose their inner savages. And the best way to get women to do jobs with low statuses, like teaching or pouring coffee, is to hold up the alpha male as a carrot in front of them. But as automation develops, jobs in the service sector will vanish. To prepare their citizens for the sexual reality of the future, nations will need to figure out how to motivate them. The types of work our rulers and industrial capitalists required have influenced the social and sexual norms we uphold today. No one will soon try to prevent women from chasing males, in my opinion. When it comes to having children, many women prioritize quality over quantity. Women prioritize quality over quantity, but men frequently seek the former. This is most likely because of our genetic composition, barring laws that expressly benefit women. Laws will be biased in women's favor as long as women continue to make up the majority of voters. The proportion of men to women in the population is dropping, which has helped adult content become more popular. For example, if women think that most men are immature or unattractive sexually, they might not have much else to do with their time but watch adult content. The hookup culture's prevalence of having sex outside of committed relationships is a liberating method to express one's sexuality. Most women believe that men are horny and handsome, while most successful men believe that women are mere machines. The men who were virtually driven out of the market in previous decades are the biggest losers in this new dystopian sexual economy. So where are we at this moment? Machines are competing with men who stand in for isolation, the true force. If technology improvements can make these men obsolete, what will they do with themselves? I really mean it when I suggest that technology will result in job losses. But for the most part, a person's motivation is not solely based on their job. Instead, it is a diversity of reproductive choices. Sex is the catalyst for the advancement of society as a whole. As long as they are permitted to have sex with whomever they want, women will continue to work, pay taxes, and take advantage of as many government advantages as they can. This will serve as the primary driver of human progress, assuming that machines can someday do the majority of human work. In the absence of sexual stimulation, the majority of women experience a loss of drive and toughness. It's a given that women prefer not to date men who behave in such a way. Because there is no male breadwinner at home, women frequently need to look for work outside the home. Those who are highly knowledgeable as they grow in their schooling become a burden. They are also looking for educated men, who are becoming harder to find. To better the human race, I would give women the same sexual impulses as men if I could. In addition, I would give them the mental prowess and emotional maturity of men, which would make them less picky in their relationship selection. With this rule in effect, women would be more likely to actively seek out sex with men rather than view men as resources, giving us a more authentic sense of equality. Everyone would be happier if we biologically reduced our expectations for women, but it is just wishful thinking. Males may use sexual androids and other manly sexual outlets as self-medication as job losses rise as a result of technology. Even though they will have little success in finding it because few men will engage with them, women will still seek male attention. Although it is believed that 80% of women only want 20% of males, this may change in the future. If 100% of women start dating only 2% of men, many men won't have someone to go out with. Male hosts at host bars in Japan actually make money for their services, and this is a real occurrence. There will be fewer guys available to provide women with unpaid favors. That's all for today on Manhood. Don't forget to smash the like and subscribe buttons, and also click on the notification bell to be the first to know when I drop a new video. If you find value in my videos, you can show your support through PayPal or Cash App. The links are in the description. See you next time. Cheers.